finally we're doing it. It's only taken, we've talked about this for a long time.
We have.
Yeah.
We have.
So good though.
I think it's because we just have so many ideas, right? I was like, oh, and this. I laughed at. I've got a fold out of our 6-month plan that we kind of made, and we were like, yeah, potty and and it was like, man, we just had so much stuff in there.
Yeah.
Like, fucking hell.
Innovators. There's no denying that we have plenty of ideas.
Yes.
Yes. And behind all of those ideas, who are we? Who are you? Who's Charlie? Who's Ash?
Who's Charlie? I don't know. It's funny. I like got a little bit allergic to the labels, you know.
Yes.
But then at the same time, it's they're just the things, right? I guess.
That was definitely a big part of the start. We hid in here for so long. Oh dear.
So I'm Charlie, and I'm so used to introducing myself a certain way. So I'm Charlie, a grateful recovering addict, workaholic, and perfectionist. I am an ambitious, purpose-driven woman who dreams big, and I never stop seeking. I'm always looking for more. There's never been a point of satisfaction, you know, like it's there's always, I just feel like the world has got so much to experience, see and know, and so, you know, adventure is a big thing for me, and being a seeker has taken me to amazing places, and it's also taken me to some pretty dark places. And I think now that I am more equipped with the skills to utilize that power positively, it's taking me to amazing places.
Yeesh, how good. How am I going to follow that up? Oh, how good. Wow, I'm Ash. I haven't got a fancy intro like that. Who am I? I'm a mum, a business owner, also a seeker, and definitely an inquirer. Always kind of digging underneath and wanting to know more. I would also agree, very purpose-driven. I've got a big vision for my life and for our business and what I want to create for my life. I want to get to the end and feel like I've accomplished and gone after all the things that I want to do. Yeah, I think, does that sum it up? I don't feel like I've got a big fancy intro.
Powerful creator.
Powerful creator? Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I'm just here to have a great time, make the most of my life, help and inspire and motivate other people to reach their potential and experience themselves and their full expression of themselves, to show up authentically and just get the most out of their life, essentially. That's what I want for me and what I want for others. Yeah. Which is
why we formed Charlie and Ash, why we've come together. That desire to share our experience with others, in the hope that they will learn something from that and be able to do the work to create the life that they really want. Charlie and Ash is all about the change makers, right? Actually supporting and guiding people through making big changes in their lives. And yeah, part of that's, being able to show up authentically, actually be, who you are and do the things you truly dream of doing, not what you think you've been told you should be dreaming.
Yeah, absolutely, because we both were in that trap, right? Like when we reflect back to a couple of years ago, like how Charlie and I met. Charlie was a client of mine first in my skin and beauty business, and we always had, it always used to annoy me actually a little bit quietly because she wouldn't stop talking. She's meant to be relaxing. I loved the chat, but I always felt guilty that we were talking and I wasn't doing more of what I was.
Jesus, this is how much you talk with your eyes closed.
It was great though, but I loved it, but I always felt guilty that that we were talking a lot. But anyway, that's how it kind of started, right? We always, you came and had your treatments, and we always had these great conversations, deep conversations that I'd never had really with anybody else in my life. So it was really cool we always connected, I think, right from day one. And that was how many years ago? 10?
Yeah.
About 10 years ago. Yeah. And then kind of Charlie, you went back to...
Oh, I don't skip the stress part, right?
Oh, yeah, okay, go.
Coming to Ash and
yeah, true, actually.
with a raging, skin condition, and doing all the things, and Ash being the lovely, kind soul that she is, giving me all the advice, and then kind of wanting to ask, so Charlie, how stressed are you? I was like, I'm not, a bit stressed. Yep, a little bit stressed. Yep. Anyway, we laugh about it quite a lot now because I think it was a little bit more than stressed. I was burnt out, and so I went overseas and had my, I guess, burnout, midlife crisis, fall apart, ness thing.
We'll get into.
We'll get into. And one of the first, and returning back to New Zealand, one of the first people I saw from within the community we live in here was Ash, and she was parked across the way, and I built up the courage to go over and say hello, because I think I had a deep down knowing that we had connected so much that she felt like a safe person to be one of the first people I greeted and said hello to. And it's quite funny how it then
what happened out from there. A coffee. Shall we have a coffee? I think is how it started.
Yeah. We had both had big things occur in our lives. I knew what had just happened for Ash, and I then shared what had just happened for me, and it was and so then it was a little bit like, and I think I said, I had I'd sold out of my business that I had, what I was in, and that I was looking, I didn't know what was next, but I knew it wasn't that, and it was something new. And so I think that's when you gave me a ring and you're like, well, do you want to have a coffee? And I was like, okay, cool. And then we sort of, what are you up to? And what are you up to? And I was like, I don't know what I'm up to. Like,
it was like, should we do something together?
I was like, okay.
What? Well, I don't know.
I think at that time too, all I knew was that I wanted to work with people who really wanted to change. In my previous business, I had always been 110% committed to what I could do, and then the rest was about the other people showing up, and it just wasn't happening. And I think there was a big component of why I burnt out and got so dissatisfied with my work was that I wanted impact and to have results, and for things to, for people to be like, yes, this is awesome. And it wasn't there. And then having gone through and realized that I had lived my life a certain way and been struggling with depression and anxiety, needing to either be super busy because then I had purpose and value, or numb myself when it was quiet or when there wasn't much to do. And I had known that this is not the way I wanted to live my life. I just didn't know how to get out of it. And once I had broken free from and climbed out of the pit of despair, I just wanted more. I just knew that there was so much more to this, that I had just scratched the surface and it had just begun. And then I wanted to just share it with other people.
So powerful. Yeah, I think our stories are so different, but it's so similar. Like the core of what's underneath it all is so similar, right? And just as you were talking about your coming to me and your skin and all the rest, like what came up for me then was how you, for a bit there, were unwilling to acknowledge the stress component. And me, the previous version of me, was also unwilling to hold you accountable and help you see that that was the case. And instead I absorbed all of the responsibility for your skin and, you know, took the blame and would lie awake at night thinking that I was a failure because I hadn't got the result for you. Because, you know, I'm at home in your home managing your stress for you, and, you know, what food you're putting in your mouth and all of those things. But, you know, that for me was how I lived my life, and a lot of was some really unhealthy habits, and contributed to what ended up happening, you know, in my story. But it was like I couldn't stand in my own power, and I put everybody else's responsibility on me. And yeah, that was a massive part of what was going on, and what the change that I've been able to create is finding myself again, you know, through having children, starting a business, through the passion for what I do, but not in a knowing what I want and how to create it. Being a mum and like going through that big part of your life where so much change happens there, and you can completely lose yourself in that. And yeah, then a bit about and my story, which we'll talk about, but you know, in that was having the opportunity to go, do I want to continue just kind of being that zombieing through life, or do I actually want to take the reins and create the life that I know in my heart that I want to create? And that's when the two of us came together, and it was the most magical thing that could have happened, right? And it's in this exact room where it's all happened and started, and like just we laugh because we think about what has happened over the last 18 months. And shit, we were so scared at the start. Like, we hid in here for a long time. Like, we didn't.
Our safe little sanctuary.
Yeah, and we didn't tell anybody what we were doing or what we were planning, or like, yeah, it was hilarious. And now when we can look back at that, it's just it's been such a beautiful journey. But this is why we've decided we want to start this, because we want to share more about our journeys, our stories, where we've come from, what we've created, the change that we've made, the impact that it's having on our lives, on our families' lives, the vision that we have for the future. And we want to be showing up really just honest, authentic, saying it how it is, giving you the full experience of what this is, as a permission for you to be able to go and do it for yourself, right? Because if this is what's kind of kept us going, right, is seeing other people too showing up and, like, you know, following our mentors, and it's having those other people lead the way that gives the permission and shows you that it's actually possible. Because in the start you probably don't have the belief in yourself, you have to borrow it from somebody else. And that's totally fine, and that's what we've done, and that's what we've been for each other, right? Like, there's been so many times when one of us has been like doubting or scared or whatever, and the other one has been there with their hand out going, come on, like, we can keep doing this.
We got this.
That's what we get to offer you guys as well, right? Yeah. So what do you think, like, what's our big vision? We've got a lot. Can you summarize it? I'm not sure.
How do you, I think for me it's my vision, you know, that fuels me for this is, I think you said the word permission. It's, I think it's actually by getting to be who I am, I can share that with other people so that they can stop and consider and be brave enough to kind of question that too, and be like, well, who am I and what do I want? And be bold enough to then go after that. And I think, especially from a place of defining it for yourself, you know, and you know, it's generational change that can occur. You know, I think the initial commitment is for the individual, for the person who's deciding to come and do something different. The flow-on effect is just exponential, and that's what I'm experiencing now, is what I see my children being able to do, my husband, my friends, you know. It's being able to be inspired by this beautiful woman next to me, like to see what is possible, and to just take it as, you know, share it as far and wide as we can.
Absolutely. Allow people to see, like my vision is just helping people live with purpose, to be happy, like to not take life so seriously, and to really question what is holding them back, because everything is a choice, right? And we are so crowded by our own beliefs and our own limitations, and my vision is to allow people to take that off and see what actually is possible for you, and give you the belief and the trust and the love and respect for yourself to actually go after what you want, and have that confidence to be able to do it, and just go after it and make the most of your life. And like Charlie said, it's not just for the person doing the work right now, it's showing up and allowing that for your children and for your friends and your family and everyone around you. And the more people that we can guide on that journey, it ripples out to more people, and before you know it, you're creating a huge impact for the world, right? Like we're here to help and actually make a change, not just for us and a few people around. It's for the world.
It's mobilizing a change in our culture and our society, right? It's not, you don't have to go very far to get hit by the doom and gloom of like all the difficulty and the perception that we're all such victims to terrible systems and governments, and the environmental issues and all of that stuff can be so heavy, let alone your own discomfort with yourself and how you're showing up in the world. And it's so empowering when you actually make a decision that you get to show up differently, and from that place you can start to have a more positive impact on the people around you and start making different decisions. And that it starts with you. Yeah.
How good. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you stayed to the end, how good. And we cannot wait. This is just sort of a little overview. We're going to get deep. We're going to dig into, share a bit about each of our personal stories, and get deep, dig into some cool concepts and explore some different topics and all the good stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's lots of sciencey, neuroscience and all those kinds of bits and bobs to what we do, as well as tapping into that, back into your own intuition and connecting with yourself, nervous system regulation, and actually being able to manage your state and how you show up in the world.
We're going to go
all sorts
everywhere.
of bits and pieces that are, that all form the puzzle, right? All the little pieces that you put together that create the bigger picture of how we operate as human beings, and how we get to master our mindset, expand our emotional capacity, change those behaviors and create better habits. All of this amazing stuff that then all piece together to help you create an extraordinary life.
Absolutely. And if you love what we're chatting about and it resonates with you and you want to be part of our vision and creating change globally, then what you can do is give our little videos a like, share it with a friend, share it with someone you love, and that all just contributes to, getting our message far and wide. But yeah, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for your support, and we can't wait to see you on the next one. It's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Cut.